Okay, guys, so today I'm going to give you a choice between two videos of which one to play first. The first one is going to be a Bama Mike video that is 47 minutes long. It's going to be a video that we've watched on Old Squishy Gardner's page, the court part, but Bama Mike got the body cam from the sovereign citizen actually being arrested. The second is going to be, again, from Old Squishy Gardner that came out a few hours ago, where it was two sovereign citizens showing up to, I want to say, Judge Simpson's court. And he basically just didn't want to deal with it. He ended up taking one back and the other one was doing nonsense. So which one do you guys want to watch? If you remember, he's in the thumbnail. That guy who was wearing a fez and did the whole thing in Judge Perkins' court. And they laughed at him. Here comes the BS already. Yeah, Lake Life AA is weird. I don't know why. Some people have to be dramatic to feel like they belong. But yeah, which one do you guys want to watch? And then I got to go run upstairs and grab my phone. Because if nobody picks, we're going to watch the Bama Mike video because that one's going to be the best. And there's already 52 people here, so that is exciting. Since nobody's voting quickly, let's go here. And this is the video we shall watch. Let me back it up 4 seconds. My mouse can work here. There we go. My cords wouldn't work for where I wanted to put this laptop, so I had to put it under my main, monitor. So I'm trying to do everything a little different today. You like Bama? Bama Mike's a good person. Tell them I said what's up if you go over there and throw them a like and subscribe. But here we go.
Hello. Hey, Trooper Butch Guy, State Police. Do you have your license, registration, and your insurance? The reason I'm pulling you over, you're doing 55 miles per hour in a 35 mile per hour construction zone.
Alright, so
That's all right. You're fine.
Whatsoever.
You're not being disrespectful at all.
I'm just traveling in my private property trying to get
Okay.
to the point of it.
Okay. We're not going to do this today. Okay, I just need your license, registration, and your insurance. Okay.
I'm
So
traveling with my private property.
okay. 20 from 2275. Can you copy us out?
Okay, so right off the bat, I appreciate that this officer was just straight up like, yeah, we're not playing this sovereign citizen bullshit today. Greg, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. I'm doing great today. I was running upstairs to grab my phone real quick. For some reason, Broken System, Broken Trust commented on something, and I got a notification about it, which should be exciting. Let's see here. Yep, okay, cool. Back to the video.
Get it. It's up on Telegraph in Pembroke. Can you send me another unit, please? Okay. Can I have your license? Okay. You don't have a driver's license?
I don't operate my property.
That's not how this works. Okay. I don't know if every time that this happens. Hey, firm. Just have a traveler in my presence. Do you have anything of the idea?
Absolutely.
Okay. Can I have that, please? What is that?
I don't want to give it to you.
I'm not going to keep it.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
When you said, can I have it? I'm just trying to...
Do you have a driver's license? Okay. Can you put your hands on the steering wheel for me? Hey, hold on.
Sir, what are we doing?
I'm putting handcuffs on you because you don't have a driver's license. Listen, all I'm doing today is writing traffic and writing tickets. If you want to be arrested, we can go that route.
I don't want to be arrested.
I don't want to arrest you.
I don't want to be arrested.
I don't want to arrest you. I want to give you a speeding ticket and be on my way so you can be on your way. But you're going to make it difficult because you're a sovereign citizen.
No, I'm not a sovereign citizen.
Nah, you're acting like one.
I'm not.
You're acting like one.
Pardon, sir.
Okay, so when the other unit comes here, you're coming out in handcuffs.
We have a conversation.
We are having a conversation, but that's not how this works.
I'm not a sovereign citizen.
Okay, but you're acting like one 100%.
Sir.
Okay, but do you have a driver's license?
Sir.
Listen, do you have a driver's license?
Sir.
You are not listening. Do you have a driver's license?
Sir, I do not have a driver's license.
Okay, so I'm going to put you in handcuffs because you don't have a driver's license and you should not be behind the wheel.
It's not a requirement to have a driver's license.
I disagree. It is. I'm sorry. No, see, this never works out for...
If you don't have a driver's license, you should not be driving. No matter how you misinterpret a law dictionary from over 100 years ago, that's on you. The fact that you haven't caught up that law dictionary from 1910 debunks what you're saying now should probably give you a clue.
It never does. So I don't understand why you even try it. Probably every time you get pulled over, it doesn't work.
I'm trying to be peaceful.
Oh, I'm going to be peaceful too, but you're not going to be because you're not giving me the requirements that I'm asking you for license, registration, and your insurance. You're not doing it. So I want this to go peaceful like you do. Okay. Okay.
I'm not doing it.
So that's fine. You're not, but you're going to come out in handcuffs right now.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not.
Sovereign citizen won't come out.
I'm not
So
sovereign.
just so you know. Okay. So you're coming out. Okay, you're coming out. Listen, like I said, I want to give you a ticket and let you be on your way.
But so then, what needs to happen in order for you to give me a ticket?
I need your driver's license, the registration, and your insurance.
I do not have a driver's.
Okay, so you're coming out until I can ID you.
I'm attempting to give
You have not been. We've been here now for 5 minutes.
I've been trying to give you my identification.
I don't know what that is.
When you ask me for my identification, I attempt to give this to you.
No.
Every single time when you ask me for my
Even Law Talk with Mike would be impressed that even his identification has a tassel.
identification. Right now, I'm attempting to.
I don't know what this is.
Because you're saying every single time.
Okay, this is not an ID.
That is absolutely an identification.
I disagree. Troop, you want to get over here so we can open the door?
It is absolutely an identification document.
Okay.
I'm not trying to be
You're being extremely difficult, sir.
I'm not trying to be difficult at all.
This is going to ruin my stats today.
Okay, so what you gotta do is all you gotta do is step out, and like you said, listen to me. If I come back talk, then you can talk. So all he's asking you to do is step out, provide ID so we can identify who you are. So he's asked you several times, I've heard. And that's all you gotta do. That's not what that is.
That's not an ID.
So what we have to do is step out, and we're gonna figure out who you are, and then you go on your way.
That's it.
So all we can figure out what's going on.
I'm going to give you a ticket for your speed.
Could you never change your... Thank you very much. No, there you go. You
I'm not at all.
No, I know, but
I just want to make sure that we're clear. I'm not at all.
Okay.
Okay. So can you just undo your seatbelt, and we're gonna have you step out.
We're gonna step. I'm gonna step.
I don't want to do this today.
Please, I'm not trying to. I want to understand. Do I have the ability to understand what's happening?
I explained it to you very...
Can I ask?
Okay, come on. I'm going to do this. You're stepping up.
So right there, he just basically contradicted every single sovereign citizen frauder. No officer is trying to arrest you. They would prefer not to arrest you. Like, he's trying to give this guy a ticket for going, what was it, 20, 25 over? So that he can go do his own shit. I'm pretty sure no officer, from experience, no officer wants to get... The arrest is going to come with paperwork that probably takes an hour. You're going to have to do a booking sheet to get this guy into jail. You're probably going to have to stand there while he's searched to make sure you didn't miss anything. Heaven forbid they use any type of force, break the window, taser, pepper spray, their sidearm. That's another use of force paperwork. And then he's probably going to have to take the guy to the hospital. No one wants to arrest somebody in that way because it's literally a waste of a day paperwork-wise.
No.
So if I step out.
Yep.
You don't get to ask questions, so we're asking you to step out. So we're giving you a lawful order to step out. Okay, we've asked you to step out. So we're trying to be very nice about it. So we're giving you a lawful order. You are required to step out of the vehicle. We asked you nicely, and now we're requiring you to do it. As long as you do it respectfully, we do respectfully. But we're asking you to step out of the vehicle. We're giving you a lawful order, but we're doing it in an asking way. But you are required to step out of the vehicle right now.
And you probably will after you will be leaving here without me. So with your property, this will all be yours.
This will all be mine.
It is yours. I don't want to take your property. You will be. Listen, we're running traffic. I don't want to deal with. I'm not trying to make arrests today. I'm writing tickets. Okay? I don't want to do this. I do not. But you need to step out until we can ID you. Does that sound good? I'm being brutally honest with you. Trust me. It's going to go a long ways.
I'm not trying to be. We're not.
Okay, let's go. Step out. Yeah. Well, yes. I'm handcuffing you just until I can ID you. That's it. When I can ID you, I can figure out who you are and everything. I'll be issuing you a citation. You'll be out of handcuffs and you'll be on your way. But until then, I got to do my proper way of how I do things and how the state police does, okay? Does that make sense? Yes. And like I said, this goes a long ways, okay? So can you do me a favor, just turn around for me? Put your hand.
I just want to point out that, again, we're going to watch it in, 10 minutes, it looks like, time-wise on the bottom there. He's going to go to court with Judge Perkins. He is far more polite on the side of the road than he is in court. Also, yeah, again, I worked at a police department for a hot while. Police officers aren't even necessarily trying to write tickets for speeding. Literally, some officers would come in, and the only thing they would say the moment they clocked in were guns and drugs. Guns and drugs. That's the only reason they were at work that day, were to find illegal guns and illegal drugs. That was the only reason they came to work. Some officers, I don't want to call them lazy, but they knew what they were there for. They were there to transport prisoners, to go do warrant pickups, not get mixed up into too much crap. It is what it is. But no, again, nobody wants to do anything crazy because it's more nonsense.
Hands together, like you're praying. Hold on. Yep, perfect. Put your hands together like you're praying. I don't want to scrape up your jewelry or your watch or anything like that. I don't want to scrape any of that up, okay?
I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm not.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
I'm just looking
They'll explain everything to you.
Okay, now walk in front of my car. So that's where the camera, we have body cams and there's a camera here, but I like to pat you down right in front of this, okay, to make sure there's no guns on you. Is there any weapons on you? Is there any weapons in the car? Okay, can you spread your feet for me? Okay, I'm going to double lock these and tighten them up to our standards, okay? Hold on.
Yeah, I have identification.
All right, guys. So if you guys notice, Mirrors 420 in the chat, he's a 2-time convicted drunk driver that can kind of supports convicted criminals and felons. He's trying to say that I was a janitor. I was actually a booking officer, which has been put out for 4 years. So it's one of those times where it's like, I'm better than you and I know it. Mirrors, take a seat, bud.
In the car, as well as all of the people that
Can you spread your feet for me? Nothing illegal on you, correct?
nothing illegal.
Okay, nothing illegal in the car, correct? Nothing that can hurt me, hurt you, hurt my partner, or anything like that?
Anywhere in my possession or on me at all.
Okay. Okay, now let me ask you this. Do you have a state ID? Because that's going to make it go a lot quicker and a lot faster for us to get going.
I do not.
And to me to your presence.
I do not have a state identification.
Okay, were you born?
Ed, those are straight up how Michigan State Police cars just look. New ones, old ones, that's just how they look. They have kept it has been the same for 33 years. And yes, that's how old I am. That's just how old it is. Mirrors, you make me laugh. Again, I have never painted an anchor a day in my life. So there's that. That's also been put out for 4 years. So yeah.
Born in the States.
I was born in the States, yes.
Okay. What state?
I was born at the state of Delaware.
Delaware. Okay.
I arrived here on this plane of Earth, yes, at the state of Delaware, yes.
Okay. Do you like Delaware?
Do I like Delaware?
Yeah. This is fine? Okay. Can you spell when you were born, right? I need the name that you were born with. Can you give that to me? Can you? So not that name. I need the name that you were born with.
I arrived at Earth as Harrison.
Harrison, is that your first or last?
That is my first name.
Okay, Harrison.
Harrison.
Okay, and what was your middle name?
I do not have a middle name.
Was never issued to you?
Never issued
Okay,
to me.
what was your last name?
L-E space M-O-N, capital M-O-N.
M-O-N?
Yes.
Just like that? L-E-M-O-N?
Yes.
Okay, what was your date of birth? Okay, so is this car registered?
Car itself?
To the United States.
With the United States Department of Transportation.
Okay.
Delaware. With the United States Department of Transportation. My paperwork is also on
There is no such thing as United States Department.
All right, let's take a gander at this nonsense. I was waiting for this. So he said he was born on the state of Delaware, I believe is what he said. But yet he rocks the Moorish Empire plate. Even though the country of Morocco won't claim these people because they're like, yeah, they're crazy, not Moroccan. He arrived, aliens dropped him off. Yeah, the officer should have said, well, do you like Delaware? Because if you like it so much, you should probably go back because we're done with this nonsense.
that paperwork shows right there, and it's.
Cool. Don't right here. Let me just say right here.
I have that paperwork sitting on the screen as well, in addition to my identification.
Okay. Would you mind just doing me a favor, please? Just get it right on that, please. That way I don't have to stand.
I don't mind standing.
Okay.
You said Delaware, right?
Delaware.
Okay. Did you?
Also, if you guys have noticed, I keep looking off screen. The NFL draft is on right now, and I'm super curious on where J.J. McCarthy will go. So I'm just going to keep watching that every few seconds.
Did you ever have... I just want to find you quick and get you on your way quick, okay? Did you ever have a Michigan ID?
I did.
You did? Endpoint. Okay. So perfect. In the same name?
Yes.
Perfect. Go ahead.
It's not, the car is not registered with the state of Michigan. Registration is
Okay. And then that was from in a different state that it was registered in?
was canceled at Michigan.
Okay.
It was registered at Michigan, and the registration was canceled at Michigan.
Okay. Do you know how long?
That's how I know.
Okay.
I don't know what's happening right here. Right
Okay.
now, but there's definitely something that is happening that is outside of the truth.
So when did you, when was it not registered? When was it unregistered? Excuse me. Or canceled. I'm sorry, canceled. That's the word.
The registration was canceled. That is the Secretary of State's word that it was canceled in 2022.
Okay. Do you know what month on the calendar? The Gregorian calendar? Roughly? You had to guess. Was it cold? Was it warm?
It was cold.
Okay. So that's what the words that the Michigan Secretary of State uses, canceled?
Correct.
All right.
So if your registration is canceled, I don't know, for those of you playing at home, that means you don't have a registration. Therefore, you should not be driving your vehicle. Old Squishy Gardener's here. Everybody say hi to Old Squishy Gardener. And if you're not subscribed to Old Squishy Gardener yet, what are you doing? His whole outfit is worth $500. If he sold those sunglasses, he could probably get a registration for his vehicle. Again, I'm going to throw it out there. Feel free to reel it in. He probably got his registration canceled, and he Googled, How do I keep driving with a canceled registration? And then, a random, oh God, why am I drawing a blank on the Sovsit script? Mark Stevens script popped up. Paul Enslaved probably popped up. Broken System, Broken Trust popped up. People who have no idea what they're talking about and are genuinely harming others. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to run with this.
May I ask where you got that? I think you just told me, but I just want to make sure I understood it.
The Department of Transportation, that number is what the product is registered at.
Also, I stopped this to address the Moors would be an untapped market for chili. The problem is, I believe chili was actually kicked off of like Twitter and the black Twitter, or not the black TikTok sphere, for being a racist, if you will. So yeah, I don't think the Moors would find him very useful. I'm still laughing from the BSBT dad video. It took me a couple minutes before it hit me. Oh, God. And Old Squishy Gardner, he is currently still on the run from the Taylor court system for that the jury trial he just neglected to show up for.
Okay. Is the Morris Nation, or excuse me, I'm sorry?
That's a vanity plate similar to.
I'm sorry. Okay. Just want to make sure I'm sorry.
Registered on it?
That's a term that the Secretary of State uses, so that you are the owner of the property. Does that make sense? Okay. Thank you.
Again, I'm not at all.
No, that's why we're dead.
Trying to be difficult, not at all.
I understand. I appreciate that. You've answered our questions. I appreciate it. Hopefully we've answered most of yours.
Are you the third?
I'm Harrison Lamont, Dave.
The third?
Harrison Lamont, Dave. Harrison Lamont third is the name that
Sir, what would you like me to call you? Harrison? Okay. So, Mr. Harrison, I get what you're doing in the cause and everything, but it's a lot easier just to give your name, comply to everything, right? I don't want to get you for resisting arrest, but when I was opening your door and you closed the door, that's technically resisting. I'm not doing that. Like I said, I want to get you a ticket, and I want to get you on your way. Okay, you need a plate on this vehicle. That plate is not right to be on the vehicle. Okay, you have a plate to this car. It's expired. Okay, get the plate caught up to date. Okay, get everything registered. Be valid. That's all you need to do. Okay, maybe not take it too far where you're not having your car registered. You don't have a driver's license and all that good stuff. Just get it done. Okay, then you're not going to have a problem. Then you're not going to have any contact with us, right? It's a lot easier, right? Okay, so I'm going to issue a citation today for no driver's license because you don't.
So for people who don't want to have anything to do with the police, law enforcement, or court system, they sure as shit go out of their way to have contact with police, law enforcement, and the court system. Also, I think it was Old Squishy Gardner. Let me try to... God, this is going to get very annoying. I'm going to have to redo this whole setup. Old Squishy Gardner, yeah, he neglected to go to court that day and decided it would be a great idea to run to Illinois and literally be homeless and jobless and ask people at restaurants for money. That's what he was doing until fairly recently. And yes, freaking media lost his channel. Apparently there's an appeal that isn't looking too well, and then a bunch of frauditors are like crying about it, and it's just like, just gonna go out on a limb here. Don't record yourself breaking the law. It's like, it's really that easy. But yeah, Old Squishy Gardner, we're going to eventually get a new Broken System, Broken Trust in court video, because eventually they're going to catch him. He's too stupid not to be caught.
I have one, okay? I'm also going to give you a speed, so the 55 and a 35 mile per hour construction. Okay, I'm also going to give you expired plate because expired, I think, January of last year. Okay? Okay, I'll get you out of cuffs. I'm not going through your car because I don't care to go through your car. Like I said, we're running traffic, and I want to get on to my next traffic stop. Sounds good? Okay, I appreciate it. I'm going to get you out of cuffs. I'm going to give you this so I can get to the back of this. And then you can go to where you need to go safely, and you can enjoy the rest of your day, okay?
Yes, instead of paying their minimal nonsense to get their car registered and to keep a valid license, which is like $40 or something like that, they would rather waste days and days and days in court or jail and thousands in court fines.
My name is on here. It's on the bottom. Yeah, my badge number's on there and everything. So you can do one or two things with that ticket, okay? You can go online to the 36th District Court website. You can pay for the ticket on there, but you do added right to a misdemeanor, so you will more than likely have to appear in court, okay? With you can hire your own attorney or have a house-provided attorney down there to help you out with that, okay? And then, so again, no operator's license, the speed, and then the expired plate. Okay, you need to have an actual plate on the back of your vehicle, okay? This is fine if you're at home, but when you're out on the streets, you need to have an actual license plate. Does that make sense? But you can do what you...
So this is the way I feel on shouldn't let unlicensed, uninsured, unregistered drivers drive away. I know in most states, it differs from state to state. If you don't have a registration, I don't feel like that's the biggest deal. Like if you lapsed your registration, we know whose car it is. You have a valid license. It is what it is. Not the biggest deal in the world. But I know some states, like if you let it go for 6 months, it's an automatic tow. Where I worked, if you got caught driving without a license, you were immediately in jail. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You were immediately in jail. That's the type of shit that you should not be able to just drive off with. Insurance is a big one too. But yeah, I feel like the driver's license is the biggest, like, hey, you definitely need one of these. Hey, the adults are talking, gifted 5 memberships. Thank you very much. Yeah, short lapse isn't the craziest thing. Like I said, some states have it 3 months, 6 months, a year and a half, something like that, and then it's an automatic tow. Like if it's a month over, sometimes you don't have the money. It is what it is. But a driver's license is literally the easiest thing to keep.
What you need to do, I'm just explaining to you. I know you know all of this, but you just don't want to comply with the laws and stuff. Well, that's fine. Okay, do you have any questions for me about how to take care of that ticket?
No.
Okay, are you good to go home?
I'm fine.
Okay, have a great day. All right, thank you.
Harrison Lamont.
Okay, so we're going to skip to this part. This is going to be the court for this when he goes and sees Judge Perkins, who seems to get the craziest of the Moors, the craziest of the sovereign citizens. Yeah, as long as it was registered to you at one time so they can actually know, okay, your license matches this registration, get it registered when you can, blah, blah, blah. I think I did a video where a sovereign citizen was trying to get his car a quick insurance, never get it registered, and didn't have or I think he had a license, but he didn't want to provide it because he thought he didn't need it. Yeah, that's one of those things where, oh, you don't ever plan on getting it registered because you think you're never going to see an officer again. Okay, yeah, we're going to tow your vehicle. Like if you let them know, or if the people let the officer know, yeah, we plan on continue breaking the law from this point further, and we just hope and pray that you guys don't see us.
Mr. Harrison Lemon Bay the third, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Harrison Lamont Bay, spelled all lowercase, HARRISON space LE space MON space BEY. That is Harrison Lamont Bay. I am the surety on behalf of the principal debtor, Harrison Lamont III, spelled with all capital letters. For the record, Your Honor, I'm not familiar with the Harrison Lamont Bay III.
It sounds like you're very familiar with them. You spelled it out. You said I'm Harrison Lamont Bay the third, or Harrison Lamont Bay on behalf of that and the surety of that. I mean, you sound like you're very familiar with them.
Your Honor.
Sound like, and maybe I would guess that your mom probably named you Harrison Lamont Bay when you were born.
Your Honor, The name Harrison Lamont Bay III is a name that I am completely unfamiliar with. If this matter today is related to a name that is Harrison Lamont Bay III, I'm not authorized to speak on that name. I'm not trying to bring any type of controversy to the court or anything like that. I'm just simply here to be able to settle this matter and settle the charges and bring this matter to the close.
Yes. Does the cop just not want to deal with towing the vehicle? Again, it's a hey, the adults are talking. You're half correct. It's a you already have one officer. Like, I don't know where they were, so I don't know technically like what city. I mean, the 36th District Court, so they were in Detroit somewhere. So it was a Michigan State police officer in Detroit. They would have more than likely taken them to a Michigan State Police jail, wherever those are. But they used one officer, would have had to stay with the vehicle. They would have had to inventory the vehicle. They would have had to wait until the tow truck got there, yada, yada, while they would have had to call another officer. There was already another officer on scene to, just in case, because he's a sovereign citizen. He would have had to take the guy to jail, do all the paperwork for booking him, get all of his property, all that stuff. So it's kind of like a time, paperwork, manpower issue.
All right. Well, we can bring the matter to a close by taking an offer. We can give you an offer, Ms. APA Cole. You want to give Mr. I don't know how you want to be referred to, but Mr. Harrison Lamont Bay III an offer. You want to take that offer? We can satisfy it like that, or we can satisfy it like we had set for a jury trial. And the note that we received this morning was that from nobody's fault here, the court did not summons a jury for some reason or another. That's why we're not going to have that trial tomorrow. So we can schedule it for another jury trial if that's what you want, without knowing how you want to be referred to, Harrison Lamont Bay III.
Your Honor, again, just to be clear, Harrison Lamont Bay, here on behalf of the principal debtor, Harrison Lamont III.
Okay, so Harrison Lamont Bay, what would you like to do?
Your Honor, I'd give the court notice. I'd really, I'm just looking for a plea of release today. Will you grant a plea of release?
No, I'll deny that. Okay. So how do you want to proceed? I gave you the two options: taking a plea or going to jury trial.
Do you disclaim the trust?
I don't know what that is.
My name is granted to the court for future return with my interest. I gave the court notice, and I'm here again simply just to be able to settle these charges and bring this matter to a close.
Okay. And I gave you the two ways you.
Pardon, self. I'm not looking to overspeak you either. So.
No, I'm sorry. I gave you the two ways that you can settle it. You can settle it by taking a plea, or you can settle it by going to jury trial. I'm assuming that you want another jury trial because you said that the first time. But you got the option of Mr. APA Cole giving you an offer of taking a plea.
Just for the record, Your Honor, this is Paula Cole on behalf of the people. It's my understanding there's just two charges today: no operator's license and no insurance. And there was a violation of basic speed law, but that was an informal hearing. I just want to make sure I have the charges correct so that Mr. Bay is aware. And certainly I would be willing to work out an offer with him if he is interested.
The 16 to 20 construction zone.
Is that an informal hearing, or is that up to date as well with the other two?
Well, if it's in default, I don't see any reason to set it aside because it's just you know, we're you know. it just befuddles me how the sovereign people come in and they say that the court has no jurisdiction over them. And I guess you can make that argument, but the simple thing I ask in these cases is how, if the speed limit is 25 miles per hour, can you just go 50 and nobody can say anything to you and nobody can stop you and nobody can pull you over? If you run over a child, nobody can do anything to you because you're sovereign? I don't understand that.
So it's going to be more apparent in the next video that I'm going to show, the old Squishy Gardner video where it's two sovereign citizens at like basically the same time. He basically says, being in the jurisdiction of the dear Lord, I'm drawing a blank on what district Simpson's in, Judge Simpson. But he's like, yeah, it goes against my religion to fall under statutes in this jurisdiction. And Judge Perkins nails it. It's like, so basically you can do whatever you want. And at the end of the day, you can just say, I'm a sovereign citizen. It doesn't even count for me. Or, I'm a sovereign citizen. It's against my religion to not commit unaliving. Like, that's not how it works. Also, Trixie, I completely blanked out. Yeah, KFAR is the easiest thing. It's literally the first letter of my first name and like the first four of my last name. I know dumb shit Finkel the other day was like, I don't even know what KFAR means. And it's just like, it's literally my name. KT said, what's up? Yeah, 36th district is Detroit. I don't know if I'll have to look it up. I know Judge Simpson isn't in the 36th district. Holy crap. The Atlanta Falcons at 8 just picked up Michael Penix Jr. Odd. Wouldn't have been my pick, but okay.
Your Honor, I keep hearing well, two things. One, I heard pardon me again. I did not I missed the name, or I don't want to mispronounce the name of
APA Cole.
ADA Cole. I heard her make mention of an insurance matter. This is the first that I've heard of.
No, it's not insurance. I think she misspoke on the insurance. It is a no operator's license, so no driver's license. It is a speeding ticket, 16 to 20 over in a construction zone. It says you were doing, the allegation says that you were doing 55 in a 35 mile an hour zone. And then it's no plate, no expired plate.
Oh, I apologize.
So that record is corrected. All right, go ahead.
For the record, I did not violate the sole intent and spirit of the law. Nobody was injured and no property was damaged, Your Honor.
I understand that, but they didn't say any property was damaged. They didn't say that was the allegation. They said the allegation was that you were speeding 16 to 25 and 16 to 20 in a construction zone, and they have you. It seems like they used the device to track your speed 55 to 35 in a 35. So it is laser. It's laser. So it's one thing if you suggest that wasn't me, they got the wrong car, or I wasn't there. It's other thing to suggest that the device is miscalculated and it wasn't working properly. I don't know what else is other defense that you could raise, but those are just two off the top of my head. And then, but other than that, I mean, other than outside of any other defense, do you say that you can just go 55 and 35 mile an hour zone?
Your Honor, again, my name is granted to the court for future return with my interest. Now, I hear you make mention of sovereign. I've heard you make mention of that term sovereign.
I mean, you may not be claiming sovereign. I don't know. That's just what I hear most of the time when I hear these arguments.
Your Honor, I'm a friend of the United States, not neutral, not anti-government. I physically reside, not statutorily, in the Union State in a non-military occupied area without the territorial jurisdiction and without the District of Columbia. I don't have a personal military. So I depend on the United States for protection and security found in Article 4, Section 4, making me subject to those protections. I spend a lot of time learning on how to comply with the law of both my creator and my government, not filing and opposing those laws.
So I wish you would have given us some ranch dressing for all that word salad. But let's break this down for a hot second. Let me get a cough drop first. Okay, so he doesn't follow or fall under this statutorily. If you looked up statute, which I've explained to you guys in a ton of videos at this point, statute just means a law passed by a legislature. So basically he's saying he doesn't fall under the law. Good on you, bud. Oh, I'm not anti-government. I'm not this, I'm not that. And it's like, well, sovereign citizen means you don't think any of the laws apply to you. And you just admitted you don't fall under any law. And then going back to the very beginning, he's not familiar with this Harrison Lamont Bay person. It's like, dude, we have you on body cam and dash cam being that person. So which is it?
Okay, so you depend on, let me stop you right there. You depend on the government for protection, right? Did you just say that?
That is correct. I did just say.
Okay, so you depend on the government for protection. So the government is saying they're protecting other people because Mr. Golson depends on the government for protection. ADA Cole depends on the government for protection. Attorney Harris depends on the government for protection. They want to be safe and they want their kids and their families to be safe. So when they cross the street, people are abiding by the speed limits and the laws of the government. And I'm not suggesting that these allegations are true, but let's just say for the sake of this argument right here that they are true, that you were born 55 and a 35, right? How are you able to do that and not have and suffer any repercussions and nobody else can?
Your Honor, I can't speak to that fact.
Okay.
Again,
So what do you want to do?
I am simply here because I am looking to settle this matter as easily and as amicably as possible. There was a charge that was brought against a name that is in trust. And these proceedings are damaging rights to possession, title, and interest in a private trust that only inherent equity has the sole exclusive jurisdiction to recognize. It's not so. If this is not a special court equity and it does not have jurisdiction over non-statutory trust here today, and I know the parties of the trust, and none of the parties of the trust are here today. That's why I came in today, looking for a plea of release and to settle this matter in good faith.
Hey, look, hey, I'll tell you what. I might not be the sharpest knife in the drawer, and I'm probably that went way over me right there, Mr. Bay. And let me ask you this: you submitted this as an exhibit, sir? Did you submit these as exhibits? Is this your this license plate picture here?
I can't see what that.
This is it's labeled Exhibit C, page 1 of 1. It's got a Nissan car with the US dot 3940755 on there. Foreign, national, non-commercial, the Moorish Empire. Is that your plate?
Your Honor, that is the plate that is attached to conveyance. Yes.
Okay, that's your plate, right?
Yes, that is.
Okay, where did you get this? Where did you get this plate from?
Your Honor, the car has attached to it a Department of Travel number.
I asked you, where did you get this plate from, sir? I didn't ask you about the car. Where did you get the plate from?
That's a private matter, Your Honor.
You submitted it as an exhibit.
I did submit the plate as an exhibit, Your Honor. I absolutely submitted that plate as an exhibit because it does speak to the fact that there was.
Okay, so on your exhibit, I'm gonna find you, for the, registered plate. I'm gonna fine you $145 for that. So that matter's over with. Now we're dealing with the notice and the speeding ticket. Now, I'm going to give you an opportunity to set a jury trial, or I'm going to give you an opportunity to take a plea on those two other matters.
Your Honor, so what you're saying is that there are now specific charges attached to each of the claims that were brought against the name Harrison Lamont III. Is that correct?
Yes, that's all I understand.
So upon tendering payment, I've given the court notice of subrogation and substitution. So upon tendering payment, those rights will be honored, correct?
Upon tendering payment for the $145, then that'll cancel out the no registration. Upon tendering payment of.
Yeah, I was going to address that at the earliest convenience. Department of Travel. What? And then, yeah, he won't snitch out who sold him the plate. More than likely it was Amazon, or it was oh God, I'm drawing a blank. I made a video about it last year at some point. There was a Moore that ran a website that sold all of this nonsensical bullshit. More plates, more paperwork, more t-shirts. And it's just like, but why? Dimension Lord for $5. He makes dumb people look smart. Yes. P.S. I'm turning 49 on Tuesday. Well, happy early birthday. I saw another comment. Let me find the mouse over here. There we go. All right. Let's see. I don't what the issue is and why they're here. Yeah, I've noticed that there's an uptick of, for lack of a better term, absolute losers who are willing to lie on people better than themselves simply to get 34 people to show up in their live stream or something along those lines. Consists of felons, convicted criminals, yada yada, and they're willing to do anything they can to lie, cheat, and steal from YouTube. It's kind of cringy. Oh, that Moore guy. They have classes to learn this crap. $1,500 just to go to jail. That doesn't seem worth it to me.
$170, that'll cancel out the speeding ticket. And the other matter will have to be adjudicated. Because the one misdemeanor will have to be adjudicated, and the two civil infractions you can just pay and then close them out like that. And I'm gonna find you responsible based on your exhibit for the expired plate.
Your Honor, I did not see an exhibit of an expired plate. Your Honor, I was issued a ticket for an expired plate with the plate number EJL. The name was issued a ticket for the expired plate number EJL 7110. Is that correct?
I guess so. Go ahead, counsel. I don't think he wants any representation.
I'm sure that he probably doesn't, but you're suggesting that he would have to pay a speeding ticket, and it sounds like that would be points. I don't want points associated with that. That would be bad.
He doesn't want. Do you want Ms. Harris to represent you, Mr. Bay?
Your Honor, I'm not looking for any representation.
Mr. Bay, how about this? Can we have a discussion in the breakout room? I don't have to represent you, but I just want to give you a little bit of assistance. Can I give you some assistance? Are you okay with that?
And Attorney Harris, you know that is in default, the speeding violation. And I would object to setting it aside at this point.
It's on the docket for today.
Your Honor, I hate to insert myself into this case. It is not my business. But if this person in front of us is not Harrison Lamont III, we just need to capious Mr. Harrison and move on. This gentleman is not an attorney unless I'm sadly mistaken. He cannot represent anyone, including a name he's now made up for himself. He can only represent himself.
Put your appearance on the record, Counselor.
Alexis Schneider for the people, P80322.
Thank
All
you.
right. That sounds like a fair motion.
And that's viable, but we're also getting into a dangerous territory of unauthorized practice of law. And I don't want him to pick up charges for that or any penalty for that. Mr. Bay, can I talk to you in a breakout room, please?
I'm willing to
Mr.
have
Bay?
a conversation.
All right, very good. That's very good. I'm gonna put you in a breakout private room with Miss Harris. Miss Harris.
Yeah, I think it's funny that they all have different ways of dealing with this. And yes, I want to say it's like the public defender, because I think I've seen her in a few other cases like this. It seems like all the prosecutors and even the judge have different, I don't know, levels that they're willing to go, where one's just like, yeah, this isn't him. We need to tell him to get here. F this guy. And the other prosecutor's like, yeah, like we need to get this moving. And then the public defender's like, well, now you guys are trying to get him for the, unlicensed practice of law. And it's like, yeah, because that's what he's doing. Let's see here. Let me get the mouse up there. Hey, the adults are talking member for 15 months, dear Lord. Love being part of the KFAR Army. Great job. Well, thank you. And then we got Paul of Scotland for 19.99 British pounds. Just fine him. Fine, he will pay with his sovereign citizen, oh God, of $1 billion. If he was living in a village full of idiots, he would be their village idiot. Yes, 1,000%. I forgot who called him this, or if I just made it up in my head, but somebody was referring to Rogue Nation, I want to believe, as the digital village idiot. So because he's on the internet, he is now every village's village idiot, which I thought was great. Mickey the Bull, I'm going to move into your house, KFAR, but could you start an anti-squatter channel? That's good, right? Anti-squatter channels are great. Let's see here. Go in. All right, I think I saw something else that I want to address. Mirrors, somebody has to tell you what to do because you're not smart enough to not get too drunk driving. So calm yourself. There.
All right, now we got.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right.
Thank you, Attorney Schneider, for your help.
My pleasure.
Okay, let's go back on the record with just don't mean any disrespect, but I just don't know how to address you. But I'll say, Mr. Harrison Lamont Bay III. All right.
Go ahead, sir. So his name is, what is your name, sir?
Your Honor, my name is Harrison Lamont III. I prefer for it to be spelled capital H, lowercase a, R, R, I, S, O, N, and then Lamont to be spelled capital L, lowercase e, space, capital M, lowercase o, N, and that is the third.
Very well. Mr. Lamont III, how do you want to proceed on the speeding ticket and on the no ops ticket?
Your Honor, I'm looking to settle all of these charges today. I do not want to go to trial. I'm not, again, I've said this several times. I'm not looking to create any controversy. I'm just looking to settle this matter as quickly and as amicably as possible and good.
All right, I don't think that you're willing, I don't say that you're, you don't want to be amicable about it. I mean, that you're any way disrespectful. You haven't been ever disrespectful. You were in your last time and very respectful. So you just have to either take the offer and plead to it. But the problem is it doesn't seem like you're going to want to plead to it and make an actual basis about it.
What is the offer, Your Honor?
Let's get APA Cole back in here and see what she's going to offer. All right, let's go back on the record with Mr. Lamont Bay III. Now, APA Cole, Mr. Bay wants an offer to resolve the matter. What would his offer be? And we'll just one offer for all three.
I did, Attorney Harris did email me recently. It was expired plates, isn't that correct?
It's expired plates, speeding, in 1620 in a construction zone, and a no-ops ticket.
I would want him to be responsible on the speeding. And I would do a fail to display. And dismiss the expired plates. But he would have to plead on the nose to the speeding, because that's in a construction zone, which is very dangerous.
Listen, I'm not going to, I respect your offer, Ms. Cole. Typically, if it's 3 tickets, it's one for 3. I mean, I just have to be, I just want to be fair across the board to everybody.
You know, I understand, Judge. It's just that if the trooper, they get such a hard time from Mr. Bay. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to call him Mr. Bay. That he was very upset about this case, and I'm just concerned that if he's going to get stopped again and still have these same excuses that he's above the laws, the traffic laws, and he doesn't require.
Well, I mean,
So yes, I actually kind of see it both ways here. So the judge is trying to get him on something. And it's something that, like, God, it's hard to articulate this correctly. So the judge is in a rock and a hard place situation, because if he just kind of throws everything at him and says, yes, you're guilty of all of this, in my head, it's going to drive him further into sovereign citizen nonsense. But if you give him a way to be like, okay, here's your out, pay X amount of dollars, get your shit fixed, and we don't have to bring it up again. That's kind of like giving him an out of, hey, you may have had shit done in the past, but now this is your out, a couple $100, get your license, and you're good to go. So it's kind of like you have to, it's a balancing act for the judge where you don't want to hit him too hard where he dives further into the lifestyle, but you also don't want to give him nothing to where he goes, oh, I'm clearly doing this correctly, so I'm just going to keep doing it. So that's where that kind of falls into that.
And I'm concerned about it too. And I'm concerned about it to the point where I you know, Mr. Bay, you know, I don't agree with your position in society, but everybody makes their own choices and things like that. So I'm not gonna pass any judgment on that, right? But I do have a problem, like I asked you earlier, as far as you not feeling it's what I get, and I am taking the arguments that I've heard from previous people that take your position, that the police officer has no right to pull you over. And I understand your position by saying that nobody was injured or nobody was hurt, but I do have an issue with people saying that they can go 16, and especially that excessive speed in construction zones and things like that, and for them not to, the officer not to have any jurisdiction over them. I just ask everybody that takes that position, how else is there going to be order? How else is there going to be, what's going to stop Mr. Lindsay from going 16 to 20 over? What's going to stop Trooper Shields from going 16 to 20 over, or me for 16 to 20 over, if nobody has any jurisdiction over? So I understand APA Cole's apprehension. You're muted, sir.
See, and just like that, it happens to everybody.
I hear.
It happens to everybody. You
I
get
hear
muted.
what you all are saying, and I'll continue to say I'm not attempting to bring any controversy in my times on the road. For example, on this instance, and the time that we are encountering, or the time that we are discussing now, the construction zone was that is an area that I travel, often enough. And the construction zone was brand new. The speed limit there is actually 50 when it's not a construction zone. I was unaware. It was not an intention. I'm not. When I say I wasn't intending to do harm, and I was intending to fulfill the spirit and soul of the law, there's no. I wasn't. I literally am.
Just so you guys know, let me make myself a little larger here. There we go. Just turning your head sideways like this and going, isn't a valid argument for a judge. Like that's not going to sway a judge either way. Just and shaking, that's not gonna go over well. Also, is this true that Chili's attorney is now trying to get $30,000 for him? Like how many GoFundMes or attempts at getting money does this guy need?
I'm only attempting to live peacefully and be in line with my God, and that means.
Also, I don't want to pass judgment on his God, but again, somebody from Michigan, I've lived here for a majority of my life. You know damn well when there is not construction in the area you're driving through. They make it abundantly clear that there's construction.
Having peace and harmony amongst all of you and anybody else that I encounter. That's why I keep pointing out, hey, I'm not attempting to bring any controversy or anything like that.
Well, this is an adversarial proceeding at its nature, period. If somebody says you did something, you may say you didn't. And now you kind of give me better clarity on what was going on. And I think that does make a difference when you make that statement. Like, hey, I'm not contesting that I was going this fast necessarily, but I didn't know that the construction zone was in place. So it kind of, because what I'm looking at it as, and I'm sure APA Cole is looking at it as, this is 35 mile an hour zone. And if you say you didn't know, but also APA Cole is looking at it as what she mentioned is that, are we going to continue to be back here? I mean, obviously for this plate, if you still have this kind of plate on your car, probably so, but that's a different nature than the speeding ticket where somebody can get injured or killed or seriously hurt or something like that.
Understood. I have children. I don't want to hurt anybody either.
We can work with the speeding, Your Honor, but I'm just, like I said, the troopers get so much flack when they pull someone over and like, do you have a license? Well, I don't have to have it because the debtors and I just don't want, it'll be continued and we'll be back here and
well, I'm sure that we'll put it this way. I have no doubt that Mr. Bay is going to continue to take that position. But if we can, if you don't have a problem with giving them a break and on the speeding, you plead to the failure to display, pay $240, and we'll close the other two matters out. Is that? And then if he comes back with the speeding again, then there's just no other offer anymore.
Ed, yes, maybe it was a secret construction zone. Yes, the guy with the stop sign or the slow sign just kept going shh as people kept driving by, so it was secret. I just saw something and then the chat moved. Let me see if I can find it again because it was that good. Valuable court time wasted. I kind of like the Judge Simpson approach as of late, where a sovereign citizen will come in, speak 3 sentences of sovereign citizen nonsense, and he goes, look, come correctly, or I can have you sit in jail until you want to come correctly. And then they try to go, and he just sends them right to jail. Right to jail. And then they come out the next day, a few hours later, and if they do it again, right to jail. Covert construction, yeah. Michigan doesn't know about covert anything. Law Talk with Mike, I think he's on day 3 of covering this case where one guy wanted to be an actual normal human being, and the co-defendant decided okay, am I back to being normal? Because it would be terrific if I was back to normal. I think I may have hit. Okay, awesome. But yeah, that judge was just like, yo. Okay, I'm back. Awesome. Yeah, the judge was just do XYZ or to jail. And it seems like judges are less willing to deal with nonsense that just back up the court. I know 3-4 years ago when this whole online court thing kind of got big, judges were willing to just sit there and just listen. And then one day it just clicked and they're just like, yeah, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not going to waste half a day dealing with a dumb person when I can get through 15 other cases.
He will plead to that if he is going to plead to that, because I know I'll have an angry trooper, but as long as Mr. Bay will accept that.
So
Will you accept it? Will you agree that you didn't have a valid driver's license, sir?
So if I'm understanding correctly, what we're saying is that I'm agreeing that I didn't have a valid driver's license. And
Right.
what we're talking about at the end of the day is paying $240 and the rest, and we've settled the matter.
And that'll sell everything.
I accept that.
Very well. Okay. Now, I need Attorney Harris to read you your advice of rights, and that's just for the court to. That's a procedural thing that we have to do, and you don't have to necessarily agree that these are your rights or anything like that. I think you want the right to a trial and things like that. I think you would want to be able to call. So let me go over those rights with you momentarily, and then we'll take the plea and we'll get you out of here. All right.
All right.
Rejoin the breakout room. Go ahead, Madam Cole.
So we're going to stop it there. This is what I believe the consequences should be. Now, bear with me. You guys might disagree. Sir, you have 2 options. It would basically be the equivalent of like a fix-it ticket for a light, something like that. Hey, get your license, get your car registered, get insurance, come in, show the court, and you're good to go. Wait, what did I do? Is my mic still messed up? Ew. Ew, ew, ew. You're for a jelly fund for Roy? That's disgusting. But no, so I'm assuming Tony Brown's a little behind. Yeah, I think it should be like a fix-it ticket. Get your license, get your registration, get your insurance, bring it in. If everything's good, we'll waive everything for your tickets. You won't have to pay anything. But it would guarantee they would have their license, they would have their car registered, and they would have insurance. So it's either jack them up, like if you want to keep playing this game, pay us $2,000. And you're going to continue paying us $2,000 every time we pull you over, or get a license, get a registration, get insurance. That's the way I would look at it.
The one thing is it going to be under the name or is he going to be responsible under his name that the tickets are under? I just want to be sure that we're.
That he indicated that he would accept that name.
Okay.
Capital H, small case ARRISON, capital L, small case E, capital M, small case ON, the third, correct?
Correct. There's a space between
Okay.
the E and the M.
Yes.
We see that.
L and the L and the E and the M. Yes. All right. Join
Ed,
the breakout room, and we'll.
So we're just gonna stop the video right here. It's not really worth it anymore. There's only 4 minutes left. So yeah, ticket, get it fixed, drop it to $100. That would be completely fine with me. That way you could guarantee that at least they have a license, a registration, and insurance for, however long. Hey, the adults are talking. 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. I was going to talk about something that Ed, it's very obvious he will never change, because once you buy the Fez, that's the sign. That's the sign that you're in it to win it. You're not going to go back. And if it's a nice Fez, you ain't changing. Fools and their money are soon parted. 1000%. Oh God. Yeah, I guess I'll bring up the next case. Like I said, it was Judge Simpson. This, I believe, I want to say old Squishy Gardner's probably gone, but this is literally 13 minutes of Judge Simpson just laying down the law for a guy. And what I also find hilarious is the deputy, the bailiff, whoever is always with Judge Simpson, still there. I feel like that guy intentionally tries to get there every single time so he can just watch this absolute nonsense. Well, you wish you could find a fool willing to part with his money. I need cash infusion. So, fraud at Reacts. Yes, LDOF was actually asking for Bitcoin. And did he ever get any Bitcoin? I doubt he made anything but like a few cents from Bitcoin. Old Switcher Gardner's still here. You like Mike's Fez? My Fez is not up to par with Mike's. I don't even remember where I put it. I think it's over in my other shelf with like my other old hats. Oh yeah. So you wish you could find a fool willing to part with his money. Join the frauditing community. Join the frauditing community as a joke. Put up a video of someone else getting arrested. Put up a GoFundMe. All of those idiots will give you thousands and thousands of dollars. How many times have we seen a frauditor or sovereign citizen get arrested? They clearly broke the law and recorded themselves doing it, and people still give them 10 grand. Look at how many times For Public Safety has started GoFundMes, and people are still giving that guy money, even though he's obviously guilty. Like shit is wild to me.
Talk to him. Court calls the case, People versus Thomas Styron.
I'm Stein, the living man. I'm by special appearance to address this matter.
I'm sorry?
So I'm Thomas Styron, the living man, not Thomas Gilbert Styron, the entity you know me as, or as I'm in my papers. I'm here to address the matter.
All right, thank you. Wish to be represented by an attorney, sir?
No, I'm here, sir, address the appropriate persona.
All right. I do have to advise, so you're gonna represent, you need to stand in the middle of the podium where he's telling you to stand. Now.
I just want to go back for a second. You can see where the sheriff deputy that's always there, where he starts in this video. And then if you play the video, as this guy starts talking nonsense,
You
he
know
just
me
starts
as,
walking up on him. Like he
as I'm
knows
in
what's
my
going to happen.
papers. I'm here to address the matter.
All right, thank you. Wish to be represented by an attorney, sir?
No, I'm here, sir, address the appropriate persona.
All right. I do have to advise, so you're gonna represent, you need to stand in the middle of the podium where he's telling you to stand. Now. Mr. Allen. If you don't want to cooperate and
I'm
handle
behind the
things,
podium.
he wanted you in the middle of the podium where you're supposed to be. If you don't want to be there, then say, no, I'm telling you now to do it.
If you want me to stand close to the mic, no problem.
Sir, you want to play a game with me?
No.
Not today. Mr. Allen, take him. We'll bring him back out when he wants to cooperate.
That should be what happens with sovereign citizens every time. Oh, you want to play games? Well, you can go play games in a jail cell all by yourself until you decide to pull your head out of your ass.
Yeah, I need an interpreter for the last two and that one.
May I swear the interpreter?
Yes, is it for the last two cases?
Yes.
Yeah, that one will swear in.
For interpreter, you're in front of the Honorable J. Cedric Simpson out of Board of District Court of Washington County, State of Michigan. Our number is 1.
Get somebody from security to check back there.
She's got a shirt on. So I'll take it up. So I'll do it. I'll take the cuffs off.
I don't know that we're gonna be doing all that, but let me ask you something. On the Styron matter, I sent my bailiff back to get him to bring him back out. The court is of the understanding that defendant number one is being, I will say, uncooperative, has purposely done some things to make it difficult to bring him out. What I'm going to do at this point, we're not going to wait and not going to play his game. We will hear him next week because of his behavior today before the court. At this point, I will revoke his bond and
Just so everybody knows, what he just said could mean 100 different things. Oh, he made it difficult for him to be brought back out. He could be now naked. He could have shit and pissed through his clothes. He could have tried to fight another inmate, could have tried to fight one of the bailiffs or sheriff deputies, could have made a threat to the judge or the prosecutor. There's a million reasons why you could be brought back there and not come back out.
I will adjourn the probable cause conference. He certainly poses a risk to even bring him out. So I will adjourn this out to May 2nd, 2024, 9 a.m. or as the invite indicates. I will leave it there for the reasons that I've stated on the record. Mr. Mansour, he is not represented by counsel. If you would, for the court, take the opportunity to come back and to apprise him that of what the court has done and that I will see him next week. The court feeling that he's being uncooperative and not compliant. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Court does call the case, People versus Tariq Day.
I am Tariq Samaritari Day, the executor of the Tariq Samaritari Day Living Trust and the registered owner
So for those of you who watch Judge Simpson, I watch Judge Simpson strictly on Old Squishy Gardner's channel, maybe Colin's channel, a few other channels that are just court related. So I'm not over there watching every day, but was this the same guy that came in like a hard hat and tried to pretend he had the COVID, if you catch my drift? Is that the same guy that we're looking at? Or is it a completely different guy?
Of the Tariq Smart Tariq Day, ex relatione Kingdom Wilson estate.
Right. So you are appearing here without an attorney. I do have to advise you that you are charged with the offense of fleeing and eluding in the 3rd degree under the Motor Vehicle Code. That is a felon punishable by up to 5 years incarceration and or $1,000 fine plus court costs. Additionally, the Secretary of State could suspend your driving privileges for up to a year. Do you understand that, sir?
I comprehend.
Do you understand?
I comprehend, yes.
The court has to further advise you that if you wish to be represented by counsel, the court would ensure that counsel would be appointed to represent you.
So two questions. What are the chances this guy has an actual trust? He probably has a piece of paper that says trust on the top in crayon and written, trust me, diagonally down the piece of paper. That's probably the only thing that he's got that says trust on it. Let's see the other one. Norm 2023, there's a 10th Amendment. Just curious. Seems like there's a lot of sovereign citizens in the state of Michigan. Is this just a speculation of mine? I want to say no. If we're going to be honest, the reason I think it seems like that is because Michigan has every courthouse, it seems like, has a YouTube channel, throws everything from Zoom on YouTube. And I know a lot of other states don't necessarily do that. So it may just seem like there's a lot because it's one of the only court channels or states that has a bunch of court channels. If you guys agree with me, I think that's the correct answer.
In this matter, and that you would have counsel if you could not afford to hire counsel yourself. I also wish to advise you that the court would be treating you the same as it would the people in this case. There are certain dangers to representing yourself in this matter, in that you will be required to abide by the Michigan court rules, the Michigan rules of evidence, and all of the cases and statutory requirements. You understand that?
I do not.
You do not. What is it about that you do not understand?
It's against my religion to adhere or
This is what I was talking
assimilate
about.
to any statutory.
Sir, I'm not asking anything about your religion. It is irrelevant to me. I am indicating that in this proceeding, you will be required to abide by the rules of this court. Do you understand that?
I'm having a hard time understanding why.
This is what I was talking about in the prior video, where this guy's basically saying, if you follow the logic to its most ridiculous conclusion, he could basically say, yes, it's against my religion to not unalive babies. And that could be his defense in court. And it's like, well, that doesn't matter. So in this case, he's like, well, it's against my religion. To what? Follow the law? Like, I'm sorry. If you were native and you unalive somebody anywhere in the country, that's still a crime. I must have missed when you can, subscribe to any type of random religion and just be like, oh yeah, it's okay with our religion to unalive people. Therefore, the law doesn't matter. Like, that's not how it works.
Or how religion doesn't play a role.
How what?
How religion does not play a role.
Religion does not play a role in what I do or what this court does. There are certain rules of this court established by the legislature and the Michigan Supreme Court regarding how these particular proceedings will be conducted. These proceedings will be conducted in accord with those rules. Do you understand that, sir?
Well, according to the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, as well as the international or the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the state and the governments should.
Sir, you have no authority for what you're about to state because what you're about to state is incorrect.
Oh, I am an Indigenous person.
No,
So I do have.
sir, what you're about to state is incorrect.
Well,
If you were on indigenous lands, if that's where you're going, then maybe you might be right. As it stands right now, this proceeding is not on indigenous land.
well, that's a matter of perspective, sir.
It is, and the only perspective that's going to matter on that is mine. We are not on indigenous lands subject to indigenous or tribal rules.
Is there?
And now let me just break this down to you. He's trying to say he's indigenous because he believes, along with most Moors, believe for somehow the Moors conquered everyone. Morocco was America. New York is Timbuktu, yada, yada. America and Morocco worked together to oust the British. It is what it is. Crazy people are going to be crazy people. It is what it is. So he thinks that because Morocco at some point conquered America, therefore he's indigenous to America, therefore no laws apply to him. That's what he's trying to go with. Oh, Dave, member for 17 months. Jeez, it's been a long time. Love your channel, K4. I appreciate it, bud.
We're subject to the rules of the Michigan Supreme Court.
Sir, this is not
as they
Morocco.
are promulgated, both in terms of procedure and evidence. Do you understand that that's what's happening, sir?
I do not.
What is it that you do not understand?
I don't understand.
Because I'm going to tell you something, sir. If you are unable to establish or understand what I'm saying, and go through this with you again, I have to assume that there may be some reason why you don't understand. This court will take precautions to protect your rights, and I will be sending you for a competency evaluation to make sure that you are competent to stand trial and to stand in these proceedings.
Well, I would agree to a competency if.
Whoop, hold up. Mike C. I saw a Moorish map the other day, and whoever drew that was high as fuck. I would love to see a Moorish map. From covering these people for so long, I'm going to take the earbud out. It's bothering me for some reason. For covering these people for as long as I have seen some of the most ridiculous theories come out of Moors on Facebook. For some reason, they thought it wasn't the French, it was actually Morocco that helped America be free. But then at the same time, other Moorish people also said that the Moors were the original people in America when the English came to settle America. And I can't grasp that because it's made up. And then they're like, well, if you don't believe me, check this website. And it's like a website of nothing. It's just some random Moorish guy saying whatever he wants. And I'm like, that's not proof. Like, show me in a history book where it says Morocco conquered everywhere. I explained it in my comments right above those. Yeah, you said these Moors claim all of North America and all of the Americas. Yeah, it's... Oh, God. Yeah. Because they think the ocean is new. I rarely say that I'm disappointed in my country's education system. But with that said, I'm extremely disappointed in my country's education system. It's like, they have delusions of grandeur. Their lives are so sad and pathetic that they actually have to make up a new life. Harrison Lamont El Bay. He had to make something up to make himself feel more relevant and more important than he actually is.
The prosecution, as well as the court and the officers agreed to. take a competency.
That's not the way it works. You don't get to make the rules.
I'm not.
I'm ordering a competency.
I'm not making.
Defendant is ordered for a forensic evaluation. I will set a competency hearing in this matter for July 25th, 2024. At what time? At 9 a.m. Now, sir, I'm going to ask you this.
Yes, sir.
Because it's going to depend on where you may be staying for a period of time. If they send you information as to when you have your forensic interview,
Yes, sir.
are you going to cooperate and attend that interview?
Under threat, duress, coercion. Yes.
Pardon?
Under threat, duress, and coercion. Yes.
No. Not how it works.
I don't.
I'm asking you, are you voluntarily going to cooperate?
I say yes.
Pardon?
I mean, under it, yeah. I mean, is this what are
Coercion.
What are you relaying to in regard? What are you insinuating in regards to where I will stay for a time?
I'm going to make sure that we are going to have our forensic interview done. I've ordered a forensic interview. I am asking you whether or not, when given notice of that interview, whether or not you are going to voluntarily cooperate in that interview.
So he asked if he was going to show up. The reason he asked if he's going to voluntarily show up, because I'm pretty sure the judge has a few rooms he could put him in for a while to make sure that he shows up to that competency evaluation. Yeah, it's jail. Surprise, it's jail. If he's going to just say, no, I'm not going to go, or, oh, under threat of arrest and coercion, he's just going to put him in jail, have the doctor come and see him, or make it so the jailers take him to the appointment. It is what it is. If we're going off where our people conquered, I'm English. So, yeah, I call Moors history revisionists because they don't, somebody brought up, if compensation is ever paid to the descendants of slaves, I wonder if the Moors would change their tune. 1,000%. 1,000%. Yeah, it's just they don't like their history, so they're making up a new one where Morocco conquered the penguins guarding the ice wall. They were everywhere. There were fezzes and tassels everywhere.
I will take the interview.
Excuse me?
I will take the interview.
Anything from the people?
Would the court ask the people to prepare the order for the competency?
Yes, please prepare the order for the competency, if you would, sir.
And the address for,
The defendant,
I see on the complaint is 14.
is that your address, sir?
Excuse me. That's correct.
All right.
All right, very good.
I will send a copy to that address.
Very good. All right. This time then bond is continued.
Yes, sir. And I'm sorry. Can I get that date again, please, sir? If I can put it in my calendar.
July 25th, you were supposed to, so I'm assuming you're waiving it. You were supposed to file your motion with
I
the
did.
court.
I filed it.
When did you file it?
I brought it in.
The Moors taught us how to use soap because we were just filthy. Moors are some of the most. I'll keep going with this and then I'll tell you. Apparently, we were just dirty white people living in caves, and Moors scooped us up and taught us how to use soap. I've dealt with, while working at the police department / jail, I dealt with more Moors than sovereign citizens. And all of the Moors that I've ever dealt with were the most racist human beings I've ever met in my entire life. And because I don't get offended by anything, I would just laugh in their faces because it was some of the most idiotic shit. And again, I would just laugh. I would be outside their cell at 3 o'clock in the morning, just listening to it, just dying.
Do we have it?
I gave it, I mean, it was stamped and everything. I gave it to the reception.
Why didn't you file it before today?
Well, as I stated at the last hearing,
No, don't go through what you
we,
stated at the last hearing.
well, you
You
asked.
knew that, no, you knew it was supposed to be filed before the day. Young man, you're gonna
That's
figure out something. We're playing by my rules, not yours. So you do not say anything because you're gonna figure that out real soon. Do they have it?
I have not received the forms yet.
Since I'm sending in for a competency, I can't hear that. I can't hear his motion in any event. So I won't hear his motion at this time. He'll have to refile it timely if he's determined to be competent. So I'll have his bond continue. He can go. What?
I didn't get the last part that you said. The bond continued and what?
I said you can go.
Oh, okay, no problem.
Is that it for me? Thank you, Ann. Thank you, Alan. Thank you, Ann. 14A.
Yeah, so I found out Judge Simpson is 14A out of what I literally just looked this up. Washtenaw County. Yes, Washtenaw County. 14A. He's been on the bench since September of 1999. And has served as chief judge of the 14A District Court since from January 2002 through December 2007. So he's been on the bench since I was 8 years old. So it's been a hot minute. Oh God. Yeah, KTZ, I have never dealt with them, nor do I have any interest in dealing with them. They're like top tier crazy. I don't put many people into the top tier crazy list, but they make the top tier crazy list. Gustav, test what? What did I miss? God. All right. Let's see here. Questions. Anybody have any questions? We're about to be done here. That's when Dumbwaiter was arrested for his marijuana cigarette. I've been waiting and waiting and waiting for Chris to make any type of content so that I could cover it. Apparently he has his not Meade County, Hardin County case regarding the said marijuana cigarette on the 1st or 2nd. So next week, midweek, we should have hopefully the result of that, because it's just, there's so much nonsense out there. I hope they just hem him up for like 50 million counts of perjury because he's just an idiot. It's against my religion to follow Brexit legislation. Oh, I saw something about oh dear God. Unfortunate altar boy, frauditors, and softards. That is one of my biggest fears, so I wish you the best on Monday. That is actually, Mrs. Kfar yells at me all the time because a brain aneurysm is one of my biggest fears. Oh. Taco and Yoshi, what is up? Taco Josh, I hope you're okay, and tell Yoshi I said up. What's up? Oh. Let's see. Oh, I do have to do the whole Mother's Day thing. Old Squishy Gardner, thank you for stopping by. I'm surprised you stopped by. It's crazy. You're so popular. I just didn't think you would come hang out with us lowly folks. Oh, there's more than... I don't know what's up with the counting of who's watching and all the nonsense likes. It's like you have to refresh every 30 seconds to keep up with likes. But yes, I'm going to hop off here because I switched up monitor. So if you guys have like a slightly different view, it sits about 3 inches higher. So I have to get it all right. but it has 2 HDMI ports in the back, so I can plug in both laptops at the same time so that I don't have to move everything every 2 seconds when I want to do something. With that being said, I'm currently having the streaming laptop in the absolute worst position ever, so I have to figure that out. So yeah, everybody have a good rest of your day. If you still want some KFR content, I put out a video at 5 o'clock about a sovereign citizen deadbeat dad that owes like a Jeremiah Payne amount of child support. I think it's like 16 minutes, 15 minutes, but I put that out at 5. So if you want to see my face, there's a video for you that I put out a few hours ago. But yeah, everybody have a good rest of your day. Be safe. Have a good weekend. I'm probably not going to do anything tomorrow. The kids have tomorrow off, so we're just going to go hang out at the park or the zoo or something.